Live from Thomas Dupuis Stadium at Frank Monica Field in Laplace, Crescent City Sports is proud to bring you Louisiana high school football. Tonight, it's a showdown for the District 9 4A championship as the Archbishop Shaw Eagles take on the St. Charles Catholic Comets. Hello, everybody. Ken Berthelot along with Wade Kaiser. And, man, we're here to bring you what should be one heck of a ball game. Two red-hot teams in this regular season finale, Wade.
Well, yeah, the timing's right. It's a district championship for District 9 4A, and you know, they're both 2-0 coming into this tilt from their district, and they're playing for all the marbles tonight. And we'll discuss playoffs and all that type of stuff throughout the evening, depending on, who walks away tonight with this district crown.
Well, whoever walks away with it is going to have to play some absolutely outstanding football, because we've got playmakers offensively on both sides of the football. For the visiting Shaw Eagles, Mason Wilson, the quarterback, and running back and wide receiver Jasper Parker have been almost unstoppable. The last time we broadcast a game against St. James, Mason Wilson scored 4 touchdowns, and they just couldn't stop him. On the other side of the football, Landry LeBlanc, quarterback, has been doing a yeoman's job, and Skylar Edwards, he was injured early in the season, but he is very healthy, and along with wide receiver Noah Tucker, hey, those two guys can bring it.
Yeah, well, we know all about St. Charles' struggles early in the season, right? We know that this isn't the normal record St. Charles would have on Week 10 going into a district championship, but they have been getting better every week simply because they've been getting healthier every week, and also because they have an outstanding coaching staff that knows how to handle these type of situations with these players. They're very young, getting them to play better when it really counts. You're talking about Archbishop Shaw and the yeoman's job that Hank Tierney has done with his club. They're just sitting at 7-2, 2-0 in the district. Those guys are looking for a district championship here tonight also.
Yeah, it's 7-2, and you can see Shaw number 1 in the power rankings entering Week 10, but St. Charles Catholic sitting right there at 9. And remember, the top 8 receive first-round byes, so St. Charles Catholic, they have won this game the last 2 years. That sort of sits in the craw of Hank Tierney a little bit, and Tierney and company, they want to win this one very bad. Last year, Hank Tierney and the Shaw Eagles, they were 10-3. One of the losses was the state championship game. This was one of the other 2 losses to St. Charles Catholic. The Shaw Eagle players have been reminded about that, and don't let the 3-5 record of St. Charles Catholic fool you. They lost a lot of people. They lost 17 of 22 starters, had to replace them, started out 0-3 with a cancellation for the Hurricane, and then came back, and now they have been 3-1 in their last 4 games.
Well, Hank Tierney knows it's hard to win in Laplace here at in SCC Comet Country. I know a little bit about that. I spent a little time here.
Well, that was my next question.
Right. What a great place it was. It was a great part of my life and my coaching career for those 35 years, and it is hard for teams to come in here and pull off the W. That last year was one of the losses that he suffered besides the state championship game, right? So he knows all about how he has to have his team prepared tonight to come into this type of tilt here in Laplace.
Gotcha. Captains meeting at the center of the field, and you did coach here. You know how good football has been here. Frank Monica, through the years, retired as one of the all-time winningest coaches in high school, Louisiana high school football. Here, they named this field after him. It's Frank Monica Field at Thomas Dupuis Stadium. And then Wayne Stein has taken over. He enters his 4th year, and what has he done in 3 years? 2 state championships, and last year was a runner-up, 13-1, and the one was a loss in the state championship game.
Well, things are important here in SEC country and athletics, right, as well as academics and, of course, their faith, right? So from that standpoint, the community falls in behind St. Charles Catholic, and they definitely have for a long time behind the football program and making sure that, athletically, all the teams have what they need in order to be successful, boys as well as girls.
Shaw won the toss, and they deferred. So St. Charles Catholic will have the ball first, and we're going to see a little bit of some rare Skylar Edwards in just a little while. As we said, he was injured. Did not see him in the first game we did where St. Charles played St. James. But right now we will have our national anthem in just a second.
Tonight's pregame prayer will be led by senior Hannah Emery. Hannah is the secretary of the Student Council and NHS, a member of Cross Country and a member of the music ministry. Hannah is the daughter of Leon and Janelle Emery.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Lord, thank you for gathering us here safely today for our game against Shaw. God, let everyone have fun tonight and have good sportsmanship. Help both teams play with integrity and respect for each other. I pray that you send your angels to keep everyone safe during and after the game. I pray that everyone has a fun time tonight. And like all things, let this game be done for your glory. In Jesus' name, amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Thank you, Hannah. Please remain standing, direct your attention to the north end zone, and join us as we honor our country and our veterans with the singing of our national anthem. Tonight leading us is 8th grader Ava Cordero. Ava is a member of the music ministry, the girls' soccer program, student council, and the Stagehands Drama Club. Ava is the daughter of Jesselyn and Christopher Cordero.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job, Ava. Thank you. Let's go, Thomas.
Jerry's called him to find out about the fireworks. It's not gunshot.
So we're just about set to go.
How about that, Ava Cordero?
A lot on the line here, especially when you look at that power rating we had up on the screen just a little while ago. Number 9 for St. Charles Catholic. And for a team, again, as we said, that lost 17 starters and had to replace them with young people. You'll even see some freshmen play tonight, not only freshmen, and they've got an 8th grader that comes in every way. You can actually get him out there sometimes.
Well, if you can play, they're going to put you on the field.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the bottom line, right? So, and they've got a lot of good players that they're going to give a chance to. They've done that all season. Those kids, by getting those reps in real time, it makes them better ball players.
Well, you've got Preston Calm, or rather Kristen McLean, and Skylar Edwards back deep for this kick from Archbishop Shaw's Henry Cardenas. He's, according to Hank Tierney, one of the best kickers, if not the best, he has ever coached. We are underway. And this one is going to roll out. Shaw in their white jerseys and green pants with the white headgear, and St. Charles Catholic, blue and gold are their colors. They're decked out in the blue headgear, blue jerseys, and white pants. So what the keys for St. Charles Catholic, Wade, is they go up against a very good Shaw Eagle defense.
I think offensively, the first thing they're going to have to do is somehow control the line of scrimmage, and they're going to have to keep the chains moving, right? Because they got to keep that potent Shaw offense off the field. Defensively, Shaw has got to be able to take care of the St. Charles running game. They've done a nice job all year. I don't see any reason why they can't do that here tonight.
Well, they throw on first down, and there's a gang tackle. That may even be a little bit of a loss. Noah Tucker, loss of 4.
Well, you can already see St. Charles trying to spread the field a little bit, right? So what happens if they can spread the field with their athletes, that allows for Shaw is going to have to be able to cover sideline to sideline, make them run a little bit, make them feel uncomfortable, get out of their normal lanes of pursuit.
Now there's one of those big explosion plays right there that the teams are able to do. And again, we didn't see Skylar Edwards do that the first time in the Dunham game because he was hurt. But he and Kristen McLean, they can make it happen.
Yeah, well, that was Kristen McLean this time running the duo, hitting it right inside in the A-gap. Great job up front by that offensive line of St. Charles. I told you they are going to have to be able to control the line of scrimmage offensively tonight.
This time with play action, quarterback keeper all the way, Landry LeBlanc. He'll get some up. Well, let's take that back. That's Noah Tucker.
You're going to see Noah Tucker tonight from his
wildcat,
right,
yes.
From his wide receiver position. He will line up at some wildcat just to give them some versatility back there. So Shaw, we've seen this before. Shaw's going to have to, prepare for not only seeing Landry LeBlanc, but they're going to have to get ready for Noah Tucker too, who can throw the ball from the wildcat.
Yeah, they're both real good. That's Landry LeBlanc back in at quarterback, and he throws. And we talked about guys for St. Charles just taking what they get. And he hits Noah Tucker this time with the pass, and they move the chains for another first down, this time all the way up to the 44-yard line.
Key words, Ken, moving the chains. That's what they're going to have to do. And what that does is when you move the chains, it keeps that potent Shaw offense off the field, but you're going to have to come away with points. And you just don't want to walk away with 3s. You want to walk away with 6s.
First and 10 for St. Charles Catholic at their own 44-yard line. Landry LeBlanc will hand it off straight ahead. And, man, big holes by this offensive line. A gain of 7 yards across midfield to the 49-yard line of the Shaw Eagles. Well, let's credit the offensive line. They're opening up some gaping holes. Matthew Lang at the left tackle spot. Bo Toka left guard. Aiden Lowry at center. Charles Taylor at right guard. And Jacques Vicnair at right tackle.
Well, they're walling off the inside zone, the backside pursuit, which is allowing the cutback for McLean and Edwards to be able to see that, read that, and plant that foot in the ground and make a cut.
And again, that looked like Skylar Edwards on that play, and Edwards down to the 45. And they're moving those chains. You look at that downs marker, and you keep seeing the number 1 up there. So for a drive that started at the 20-yard line, St. Charles Catholic just methodically driving down the field. And here's, again, Noah Tucker in the Wildcat. Tucker with some nifty moves down to the 20-yard line. Wow, a gain of 25 for Noah Tucker.
Second time tonight we've seen St. Charles go double tight. Double tight puts a little bit of pressure on an odd front, which is what you're going to get from Shaw. It makes them have to cover one more gap. It gives them 7 gaps that they've got to cover. And in order to be able to cover the second gaffes, you're going to have to move somebody down to the line of scrimmage inside the box to be able to do that. If you can block that extra guy, you're going to have creases when you go into a double tight formation.
All right, Skylar Edwards, he's their leading rusher. Came into this game 140 rushes for 567 yards, and this is why he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown. Skylar Edwards takes it all the way to the house. A 20-yard touchdown for Skylar Edwards. Swinging gate. Well covered by Shaw. They'll make the substitutions. And Tyler Molioto, a junior. Another excellent, bad snap, picked up and put down well by the holder. Picked up and good. It's a 7-0 game. St. Charles Catholic with the lead. And what about that drive right down the field?
Well, it's just the way you draw it up, right? If you're going to script your first 15 plays or so, and that drive was just carried out perfectly in the way it was scripted, right? Excellent job. Credit that St. Charles offensive line doing a great job controlling the line of scrimmage. They get into the end zone. Skylar Edwards, who missed part of the year, as you said, with injuries, still comes in tonight with 405 yards, 7 touchdowns. He can tack another stat on to that touchdown total.
Well, an 80-yard, 8 plays, 80 yards. A drive that takes 3 minutes and 9 seconds, and St. Charles Catholic flexes a little muscle and takes a 7-0 lead early in this one. So let's see what happens as they give it to Archbishop Shaw for the first time tonight. And this is a low, squibbly tight kick. It'll be hard to handle, and it is. Running it down to the 9-yard line and saving it down there. Wow, that's exactly what they wanted to do, make it just a little more difficult for the Shaw Eagles, and they did. That was Franklin DeAndre.
Right. Well, you gotta get your glove down, right? I mean, you got to feel that. So, that ball bounces funny ways. You just can't let it get past. And now Shaw's operating out of a hole. They've been in these type of positions, but they've got such an electric offense. Offensively, again, they're going to have to get the ball into their playmakers. What does St. Charles have to do defensively? What is their key? They're going to have to be able to tackle these guys because they have some playmakers.
Now, Mason Wilson is one of them. You're looking at him, and he throws complete to Jacob Washington, and there's a completion on first down.
Yeah, Jacob Washington, the Michigan commit, comes in with 371 yards on the year. Look, he's a big-time receiver.
Second down and 2 after the 8-yard gain. Shaw can move that ball quickly down the field, and here goes Jasper Parker. Parker skirts it to the outside, and he maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Let's see, he may have lost a yard or 2 on the play.
Yeah, brings up third and at least manageable for him. But, young man, you got to go north and south on a north and south field. Watch him kind of start all of a sudden start bouncing east and west right there. Can't do that. Those guys in blue know how to run pursuit angles, right? They're going to catch up to you.
Mason Williams. Well, when you watch his moves today, he's going to remind you of some special people. He will keep and then toss right at the last moment. And look at the gain on this one. What a toss at the last moment to Jasper Parker and Wilson. You'll hear the Wilson Parker show so many times tonight, it'll sound like a law firm.
Well,
or maybe we should say,
there you go.
A money firm.
A money firm, a financial firm.
Yeah,
lead option.
That's future NIL right there.
Right, lead option. Mason Wilson does a great job at the last second, reading the last man on the line of scrimmage to be able to get the play out there and pitch it out to Jasper Parker, who takes it down the sidelines. But there was great blocking out on the edge by the wide receivers, Ivan Smith, Gavin Richards, and Jacob Washington blocking downfield.
At their 45-yard line, A gain of 1 and no more, as this time they do get to Jasper Parker.
Yeah, they pull that down from behind. They get underneath the blocking of the kick out and the seal. Here's a kick out. Here's the seal right there. They just forgot to tackle. They just forgot to block Dax Prejean, who came down in the hole from his safety position to make a nice play.
From the 44-yard line, 2nd down and 9. Again, straight ahead, this offensive line for Shaw opening up the same kind of holes St. Charles Catholic did just a few moments ago. He's down to the 35, and that'll be enough to move the chains. That's Parker once again on the move.
That's what this guy does best. Watch him run north and south. He is a north-south runner. That's what Michigan's going to want from him. He's a Michigan commit. Also, like his fellow teammate Jacob Washington, running downhill is his M.O.
Yeah, 2 Michigan commits. And both skilled position players. Mason Williams taking his time. 5 on the play clock, gets the snap off. He'll toss it off to the right side. It's dropped by Gavin Richard.
That's like triple option. It's RPO. You got a dive, which was Parker. You got the quarterback running, which was Wilson, who decided to pass it out to the receiver, Gavin Richards. You play it and you defend it like it's triple option. 1, 2, here's 3. Nicely done. Right in kind of the path of the pass was, it looked like, I think it was number 26 was Sean Hilaire, who got in the way of that pass from Wilson.
2nd down and 10. The give to Parker. Tries the left side. Had him bottled up for no gain, and great second effort pushing down near the 30-yard line. He got 4 yards from something that should have gotten nothing.
Right, 3rd and long. They're still running the counter play there, but look at the blue jerseys and how they're, where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be, how they're supposed to be. I guarantee Wayne Stein talked about that over and over and over again this week. Be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be, and how you're supposed to be in order to tackle Parker.
3rd and 8. Keep an eye on number 8. No, this time Milt Wilson will keep. No, he won't. Now he will throw to number 8, Jasper Parker. And Parker's across the 20, breaks a tackle. He's down to the 15. A 21-yard gain for Parker.
Yeah, Parker trucked Dax Prejean that time. Yeah. Out there in the corner trying to set the edge. Another little RPO where Wilson looks like he's going to take off and run in on the edge, and he slings it outside to Parker, who takes off. We got a call here. We had a flag on the play.
Oh, yeah. Flag is down.
We had a face mask personal foul penalty on Shaw, so they're going to back that thing up 15 yards, which is going to negate that play. Remember, you have 2 types of face masks in high school. In Federation rules, it can either be 5 yards incidental or it can be 15 yards personal foul. Usually, if the grip takes place and somebody's head is turned around, that's when they're going to call the 15-yard. I think we saw it right there at the
very end on the run, yeah. So good call. It was there. Wipes out a 1st down, which would have been down inside the 20-yard line, and backs it up to the 40 after the penalty. Wow.
Yeah, Shaw comes in scoring 42.2 points a game, right? They haven't been in too many 3rd and long situations this year.
Now 3rd, and you don't see either one of these teams behind the chains very much. And because of that and the importance of this game, Shaw is going to call timeout. And I think they want to talk about this because this is an important 3rd down. And that gives us a chance to remind you that we have some great sponsors. And tonight's coverage is brought to you by one of them. Crescent City Sports is very proud to have Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner as the sponsor for the first quarter. Lamarck Ford, the #1 Ford dealer in the Metro New Orleans market. Must be a reason, says Ronnie Lamarck, and you know there is. Thank you, Lamarck Ford, for sponsoring the first quarter of tonight's game on CrescentCitySports.com. So what is he talking about right here? Because you've got an explosive offense. You've been able to make some explosive plays, but you need one right now that'll give you 15 or 14 yards.
Well,
almost 15 yards.
Well, number one, you want to be able to think players, not plays, right? So you got to think about calling the play that's going to put the ball in the hands of either Washington, Parker, Richards, right? Those are their playmakers out there offensively. So they're talking possibly protections, making sure they're in the right protection. St. Charles has dialed up a blitz. They've already pointed it out. Here comes number 11.
Well, there's the toss to Jasper Parker. Get your playmaker in space, breaks a tackle. They had him, and he breaks the tackle and gets the first down with great extra effort. Wow, what a run by Jasper Parker.
St. Charles brought Brooks Monica off up the A-gap, should I say, which takes away all of your inside-out pursuit on those type of swing passes, those screens. You can see Monica right there almost got home, but great job by Wilson getting the ball out of his hands real quick into Parker's. And what did I say? Get it into your playmakers' hands. You got to think players, not plays. They got it into their guys' hands, Parker, and you can see the results.
A 24-yard gain down to the 11-yard line. And Wilson on the keeper. He's in trouble. They've got him. They spin him around and gang tackle him.
That was Kenneth Hall, number 2, that brought him down.
Well, St. Charles Catholic trying to apply a little pressure, get tough as they do it. Second down, about 13. Long way to go. Again, those two playmakers in the back. Keep an eye on them, but also watch number 3, the wide receiver that's coming in motion right now. He's been very quiet. No, instead they're going to toss it and keep it with Parker. Right side running. Helmet pops off. And he's inside the 10-yard line for a short gain.
Yeah, Parker can run inside. He can run outside. Like I said, that's what Michigan likes about him. He is extremely versatile. There's the lead option again. We saw that back a few plays ago where he popped it to the left down the boundary right there. Well defensed by the guys in blue, the Comets.
Now from the 9-yard line now, third down. Third down and 7. They can make a first down at the 1, just inside the 2, let's say that. Big third down play right here. Wilson with his own feet takes it into the end zone. What a run. A 9-yard run by Mason Wilson for the score. And we've got a 7-6 ball game.
Great look at it right here. He's looking at the trips receivers to the weak side of the field. Everything was covered up well by the St. Charles secondary. What do? Scatter out of there over to your right and walk into the end zone and get yourself right back into the ball game. 7-7 tie.
Now here comes the extra point by Cardenas. And they stop it. Got to go back and look at that one. Did they have trouble with the snap?
Looked like there was a little trouble with the mechanics.
I thought the mechanics were a little messed up on that one.
But that's a huge point. You know, that can always come back and haunt you somewhere in the end of a football game. And you can think back as a coaching staff, if you lose a game by a point here, a point there, something of that nature, you can be sitting back in the office thinking about that one PAT that you didn't get early in the first quarter. Here's a good look at it right here. Let's see if we can check it out.
Oh,
it looked like
he got in there, and I think he picked it up thinking it was going to be blocked.
Well, I think the mechanics were so slow, right?
And, Gavin Richards picked it up. He's the holder.
Right. Poor snap. Gavin Richards saw blue coming off of his right-hand side there, so the mechanics' timing was bad from the snap. He picks it up to try to save the play, and it gets stymied by the Comets.
That was about a 13-play, 74-yard drive, and it ended up with that 9-yard touchdown run by Mason Wilson.
He looks like he might have been fumbling that snap trying to get it onto the tee. Just any way you look at it, snap not good, hold not good, kicker off balance. Great rush by St. Charles Catholic.
Well, they get the kick, and once again, Cardenas sends it very deep. Look, if they don't tell him to kick it short, it's going into the end zone. So Cardenas is that good of a kicker for Archbishop Shaw. So the second offensive possession coming up for St. Charles Catholic, and each team's had one possession, each with a long scoring drive, and we've only got 1 minute and 37 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. So all possession, very important for both of these teams.
Well, I kind of talked about that in the keys. They have to make sure that they maintain control of the ball, and they're going to have to do that at the line of scrimmage.
Landry LeBlanc hands it off straight ahead, nothing fancy for St. Charles Catholic. They'll hand it off to Skylar Edwards. You'll hear those two, that combination, quite a bit in this ball game. So second drive starting at the 20-yard line. Both drives have started for the Comets at their own 20-yard line. So how important is it for St. Charles Catholic to respond, because they blocked that? But the extra point wasn't good. Didn't work. Wasn't a block. The mechanics were bad. Didn't work.
What's important is that they move the chains.
Keep a drive going. Edwards
keep the drive
again.
going. They got to stay on schedule. They got to stay in between the sticks and move the chains. They do not want to be in these third and longs, right? So they're third and
Short.
6? Well, they're third and 5 right now, third and 4. This is manageable. Third and longs you do not want to be in.
Right.
That means they're off schedule, and it's going to have to force them to do things that they don't normally like to do.
So here goes St. Charles Catholic on a third down, trying to keep the chains alive. Trying to pick up that first down. LeBlanc with a little toss out to Edwards. He breaks a tackle and with extra effort gets the first down and keeps the drive alive. So St. Charles Catholic moves the chains, gets a new set of downs.
Great little scheme, executed nicely. A little, I guess you would say, halfback screen. Look at the blocking by the wide receivers out there on the flank. Nicely done. Those wide receivers doing a yeoman's job. I love to see receivers blocking, right? I mean, they can catch the ball, we know that. But, hey, they spend a lot of time in practice blocking, and when they do it right out on the field, little things take place like moving the chains. Those are things I love to see.
Absolutely. So here's the snap, and St. Charles Catholic keeping it on the ground where they can. And the first quarter has now come to an end. So with only the second offensive possession in progress for St. Charles Catholic, we have played one here at Frank Monica Field at Thomas Dupuis Stadium, and the score is 7-6. St. Charles Catholic leading Archbishop Shaw on a missed extra point.
Tonight's 50-50, good for $285. If you hold a winning ticket, please report to the press box that winning number 084180. 084180. If you hold that winning ticket, please report to the press box.
I started with a 1.
We're ready to go here in the second quarter of play. It's been a ball possession ball game. Second down, 9 for the St. Charles Catholic Comets, and boom, running right into a brick wall and going nowhere and being pushed back is the Comets' Edwards, Skylar Edwards.
Yeah, Ronnie Miller was the guy that stepped up and laid the wood right there. Whack. You see the ISO running inside right there. They didn't get up to Ronnie Miller, the linebacker. Nobody touched him. He steps up into the hole and lays the wood on the Comet running back.
No gain. Landry LeBlanc, quarterback. Every once in a while you'll see Noah Tucker come into the Wildcat, and he throws it incomplete. That was a dangerous throw, and it was almost picked off after the ball passed by the intended receiver.
Yeah, read well by Tristan Evans at his strong safety position. Gets right into the middle of the little wide receiver smoke screen right there. He almost picks that thing off, Ken. He would have walked.
Yeah, he would have. I mean, it would have been that easy. And this forces St. Charles Catholic into a punt. Dax Prejean is the punter. It's a low snap, but he's got time to pick it up and get it on its way, and it gets a St. Charles Catholic roll inside the 30 down to the 29-yard line, and that's where Shaw will have it on their second offensive possession. Yeah, that's how long those first two scoring drives were. It ate up just about 13 and a half minutes for both teams to make it a 7-6 ball game. St. Charles Catholic punts their second possession away.
Well, St. Charles wants to keep that MO, right? I mean, Shaw scores 42.2 points a game, right? So St. Charles was only allowing 16.9 coming in tonight, but they do it by making teams have to drive the length of the field, make them have to stretch it. Hopefully there will be some sort of mistake that would be made. That's the way Comet defense is played at St. Charles.
Now they'll try the right side, nothing doing. Both defenses starting to find it a little bit.
Well, St. Charles runs well enough to be able to get out there on the flank, right? Shaw trying to see if they can use their speed with the option game. Again, the speed option, but the pitch was poor. Looked like the pitch from Wilson was on his left shoulder, which was behind him, which caused Parker to have to stop and come back and get the ball and fall on it. It was almost the first turnover of the game.
Well, here's a complete pass to Jacob Washington, his second catch of this game. And Washington moves it out to the 31-yard. Got some of that lost yardage back, but still making it third down and pretty long. 3rd down and 8 for Shaw to keep this drive alive.
Preston Comm comes up nicely and makes a one-on-one tackle on Jacob Washington, who is a huge recruit out of the state of Louisiana, right? And his stats don't show it, but if you walk next to him, I did during pregame, man, is he a beautiful specimen as a wide receiver for Shaw.
Wilson in motion. Look at that turnaround coming back the other way. Just good sense of direction, but he cannot get to the first down marker, and he's going to be about a yard short. He needed to get to the 40-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 39, and that's going to force Shaw into a punting situation on 4th and 1 on their second possession of this game.
Hey, look, the guy that makes that play right there is Creed Marix, who scrapes from his linebacker position to contain Wilson from getting out there to the right on the rollout, right? Wilson then reverses field, comes back, everything's covered up. He does a nice job getting down to the ground, trying not to force something that would give them a turnover.
Cardenas is the punter also, and he punts it, fumbled. It's a loose ball, and wise play to slap that ball out of bounds by Dax Prejean.
First of all, you got to catch the ball, right? But Dax Prejean realizes he fumbles the ball, muffs the punt. What does he do? Very well coached. Knows where his presence is on the field at that time and makes sure that nothing in a white jersey can get to it. He slaps it out of bounds. Look, that's good coaching. He knows what's going on right here. He knows, he feels the heat. And what does he do? Watch that. Slaps it out of bounds. Very well coached young man.
So each team had to punt the ball away on that second possession. And this drive will start at the 16-yard line. And they'll try the run, and not a whole lot going as a rugby scrum will be whistled dead. And that was a hard yard pickup.
Yeah, that was Noah Tucker running the zone read, right, off of the jet sweep. And look at the white jerseys getting to that ball right there.
Yeah, I think when Noah Tucker gets in that Wildcat, it's sort of a giveaway. You know what's happening. You know what's coming. The idea is, can you stop it? Good roll this time by Landry LeBlanc. He's going to tuck it under and run himself, but he'll only get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Yeah, St. Charles is going to have to throw the ball a tad bit. Here's why. If you look at Shaw, they've got 9 people in the box. Everybody else is locked. Free safety is at 8 yards from the line of scrimmage, covering the tight end, right? So you're going to have to take a shot sooner or later downfield just to get somebody out of that box in a white jersey, because they've got too many people for you to block them all.
Well, here comes a big third down play. Oops. If they're going to snap that ball, they might have gotten a free play out of that. Here's the toss. And it's caught down low. Pretty catch by Fourier-Fabre. He's got the first down, and that's a big, big toss right there for St. Charles Catholic.
The other way you can get people out of the box to loosen up a 9 and an 8-man box that's loaded like that is formation. You spread the field by formation, get somebody to walk out of that box to have to cover one of those receivers, or to be able to cover that zone that they should be lining up in if they're playing zone. That's what Shaw had to do that time. St. Charles outs formations them. They run a curl route to Fabre. Fabre makes a nice catch.
Yeah, 16 yards on the gain and a first down. And now on first down, they will just take it up the middle. And another good job by that offensive line, just pushing forward up to the 39-yard line. So a gain of 5. A little bit more than that. Call it second and just a tad bit shorter than 5.
You're getting a lot of man coverage out of Shaw, Ken. What they're doing is they're covering those wideouts, the number 1 receivers from the boundary, one-on-one with the free safety sitting in the middle field playing free, right? That's locking linebackers up on backs and things of that nature. It won't be long before St. Charles figures that out, and they're going to get the ball to their backs out of the backfield.
In the meantime, they just give it to Edwards and try the left side, but they're going kind of tough there, and he might have gotten 1 to the 40-yard line, so it's going to be third down now and 3.
The other
keep this drive alive.
The other thing that will help St. Charles, besides formationing them, is going back to the 2 tight end look. So what that does with an 8 and a 9-man front, as I said, that gives 1 extra gap that Shaw is going to have to defend.
Jackson Doster brought in that play. He is split wide to the left side. Keep an eye on him. Number 15, Landry LeBlanc, backs up into the gun. Moves Edwards to his side. And we've got movement.
You got movement by the center. Number 7, Aiden Lowry snaps the ball a little too soon, so it's going to be an illegal procedure penalty on the Comets, and it's going to back them up 5.
Oh, yeah. So now you go from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 8. And those 2 long possessions that started this game in the first quarter that ate up between both teams on both possessions, which led to the 7-6 St. Charles Catholic lead on the missed extra point. Well, that ate up with just about 10 and a half minutes of that first quarter. So, and they're not going to get it on third down. What a great job that time by the Shaw defense. Late first quarter, Carr leading Rummel 20-14. Carr wins District 9 5A outright with a win. If Rummel wins, they're co-champions. But good score right there. That's on 106.1 The Ticket.
Yeah, well, you got about close to 60 games going on around the state tonight. Everybody obviously moving games because of the threat of the hurricane that is in the Gulf currently.
And even if it doesn't come in as a hurricane, it's expected to bring a lot of wet weather, and you don't want that happening. So there's your punt. It's about 29 yards on the punt. We'll flip the field a little bit and give it to the Shaw Eagles. So after each team drives to score, you've got back-to-back punts by St. Charles Catholic. A punt last time by the Shaw Eagles, and now we're coming up on tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Oshner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute. Don't let a sports injury keep you sidelined. Our team offers health care for athletes with same-day appointments available near you. Visit Oshner.org/sportsmed to learn more. On first down, the keep. Wilson, no, he tosses late.
They keep trying to run the RPOs off of a triple option look, okay? St. Charles is giving Shaw a 7-man box. If that's what you're reading off the RPOs, then that is a run read. You got to give the ball to the run to your guy Parker that's going to run downhill. Ball keeps getting pulled out. Wilson tries to get it out onto the flank. Great pursuit by St. Charles getting out there to defend that.
Wilson will throw on first down. He's got a man complete and takes it to near midfield. And that's again Jacob Washington. They targeted him 3 times. All 3 have been complete passes.
Let me ask you a question. When you target him, I mean, this guy is really phenomenal, right?
That's your other Michigan commit.
Exactly. So the deal is somehow you got to spread the ball and get the ball out there in his hands. How do you want to get it out on the flank? That's how I'm getting it out on the flank. I'm getting it out to Jacob Washington's hands out on the flank, and I'm running Parker in between those tackles.
Well, on 3rd and 3, they just want a power run up the middle, and they get it. And they'll move the chains. First down, Archbishop Shaw, and they are now on St. Charles Catholic side of the 50-yard line. We've got a Comet player a little slow to get up.
Well, that's what Shaw does well right here. You see the counter in between the tackles. You got guys hanging all over the legs of Jasper Parker. They can't bring him down. He keeps him churning. He keeps falling forward. And what does he do? Before you know it, he's picked up 5, 6, 7 yards, and he moves the chains.
That's Kenneth Hall. And he is...
Well, Kenneth Hall, he's come back from a bunch of injuries this year. He had a knee injury earlier in the year. If I'm not mistaken, it was in the Jamboree all the way back on week 0 against East St. John. He's battled his way back into the lineup, and let's hope that he doesn't have a reoccurrence of anything that will keep him out moving forward.
Just a moment ago, you saw Coach Wayne Stein walking back toward the sideline, and I was going to say from the expression on his face, I was a little concerned, but hey, Hall's up and walking out, so that's just a coach probably going, thank you.
Believe it or not, when sometimes as an athlete, after you're coming back off an injury and you get it bumped, right, or you get it just kind of twinged a little bit, right, you kind of start getting scared yourself, and you lay there for a second to start kind of checking to see if all the body parts back in place, right? Meaning, is my knee okay? And I'm kind of feeling that's exactly what Kenneth Hall was doing that time. And then you saw a relieved Wayne Stein walking down. I don't think Wayne ever looks relieved, but you know, I'm sure he went. You know,
he's got the same expression all the time. How about this, a double reverse? And they flip it. And guess who's got the ball and taking it? None other than Caleb Williams. A senior, first time he's had a chance to touch the ball in this game. And he gets a pretty big run out of it and moves the chains for a first down.
Right, there you go. There's a good look at the reverse right there. They get it into their speedy running back slash receiver's hands right there. Not a good job there by St. Charles setting the edge, coming up, and making sure they turn things back into their pursuit.
First down after the 18-yard gain. They'll throw it out, and there's Jacob Washington again with a catch. And Washington very close but short of first down yardage.
He catches the ball, and that's what you want to make him do, put him down on the ground right away. So there's no yards after catch, right? No yak on that because you do not want him to get loose. Great job by the St. Charles secondary out there to make the tackle.
Yeah, second down and 4 after that 6-yard gain. Both of these teams are amazing stories this year. Timeout, St. Charles Catholic. They want to discuss this one. 2 minutes and 43 seconds to play in the first half. Shaw trailing by an extra point that was muffed. St. Charles Catholic not wanting to let the Eagles get this late score going into the halftime locker room. Depending on how quickly that might happen, St. Charles Catholic would have some time to do something with the football.
Well, yeah, I mean, using the clock definitely trying to make it be an advantage so that way, you know, you can have something left to try to go back into the locker room with. But I think they didn't have the right personnel defensively on the field. I think Wayne Stein saw that and quickly ran down to the official and called timeout.
Yeah,
look, it's all about matchups and it's all about personnel, right? If you don't get your guys on the field because A, somebody's not paying attention. B, they just don't see it or don't hear the call from the boundary, what personnel grouping you want on the field. That can cost you a timeout, and I think that's what happened in St. Charles Catholic's case right here.
Well, keep an eye on Jacob Washington. He's up to the right side of the screen. They've targeted him 4 times. He has caught every single one of them, and they've all been for pretty nice gains. Nope, they will go the opposite way. They will flip it instead to Gavin Richard, his first carry tonight. And Richard, he gets the first down. Now, anywhere else, most people would see his last name, R-I-C-H-A-R-D, and say Richard, but he pronounces it Richard.
Again, with the triple option, right? And any way you look at it, there's a dive, there's a quarterback option, there's a pitch right there to Richard. Richard gets outside and absolutely flattens a defender from St. Charles Catholic.
Yeah, got 11. Didn't need that many, but does move the chains. So, a nice carry for Richard.
St. Charles lines up into the neutral zone. It's going to be an offside call, so move that ball forward 5 more yards. Remember, in high school, if you line up in the neutral zone, you infringe or encroach into the neutral zone, the play is automatically stopped, and the penalty is marked off.
Big hole right there for Jasper Parker, and he hits it, gets inside the 5, and very, very, very close. Helmet comes off, but a flag also goes down.
Yeah, you're going to have little extracurriculars down at the bottom of the screen with a receiver and with a lineman and a linebacker right there, and they're kind of tussled up right there saying hello to each other, and they're going to discuss who's going to get the flag right here.
Now the left tackle, Carter Newsham, 6'3" senior.
They're going to have a face mask penalty, it looks like, against St. Charles. In that tussle, the defender must have got hold of the face mask, ripped the helmet off of number 75.
That's why
right
75
there.
Lost his helmet. When we said his helmet came off, that's Carter Newsham.
Right. And so there's the call. It's going to be, it looked like a personal foul, so there'll be half the distance
2.5
to the goal line
3.
and a first down.
No, to the 1. Math, not my good subject in school.
Yeah, it has something to do with Holy Cross, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, my friend. I'm just kidding.
That's why they said, think social sciences.
There you go.
Al, you hand it off to your big playmaker, Jasper Parker. Let him take it up the middle, and flags come down all over the place. He was in. Let's see what happens here.
Again, that could be dead ball penalty. After the play, after he's in, I think the touchdown's going to stand, but you're going to probably have some sort of personal foul with some unsportsmanlike or something going on extracurricularly.
Now Mason Williams,
in other words,
things
are getting chippy.
Trying to listen in. You get a little chippy.
Things are getting chippy. Here we go.
Personal foul.
Oh, okay, so that we didn't know if it was live ball or dead ball, so they must be treating it as a live ball. So still, is it a touchdown?
They did not say. The points have not been put on the board. We're waiting in the press box.
I guess they're treating it as live ball. What's the down and distance? It's going back to first down again?
Yeah, because the special teams are coming off the fields for St. Charles Catholic, right?
Usually what you get is an indication of whether it was live ball or dead ball, whether the touchdown stood or the touchdown didn't stand. That's what Wayne's trying to determine right now, so you know how to proceed next.
Officials are from the South Louisiana Officials Association. Still no. They've got the ball set up for an extra point. They did put the points on the board, so the touchdown is up there. 12-7. Shaw takes the lead.
Okay, so they're treating it as dead ball. Okay, touchdown stands. They'll probably mark the personal foul on the kickoff.
So that makes it 12-7 now. Do you go for 2 here and try to make up for that muffed extra point?
No,
or do you just kick one and take the 6-point lead?
You kick the one.
Too early in the
Hold
game
on.
to do something like that, right?
I'm going to throw that word out there to everybody, analytics, right?
Yes.
Every coach has that card in their pocket, right? That if the score is this, you're going to kick the one, you're going to go for the 2 and all that. And then you've got the guy that's real brainy sitting up in the press box with the glasses on with the computer, tapping on the computer and saying, no, analytics say this, right? I'm thinking analytics right here say you go ahead and take the points this early in the football game. At 1:35 just before half in the first half.
I mean, that would be by the book. You take the points right now. You don't need to try to go for 2. It's not that critical. We're looking at the team.
The question is
but right now, Wayne Stein is having on the sideline just out of camera range. Now you can see it. Wayne Stein was really, he's making a case to the referee.
Well, Wayne either wants it. He's trying to argue to the point that it's a live ball foul. That's what I think he's doing right now. Either that or he's inviting him for jambalaya next week at the quarterback club. One of the two. But in that case, it looks like they're going to call a dead ball, and they're going to proceed with the point after.
Yeah, and you know what that means. He's rescinding the invitation for jambalaya at the quarterback club.
Look,
that's it.
Best jambalaya in the river parishes. Best jambalaya in the river parishes right here at St. Charles Catholic High School.
And look, you coached here with a couple of guys that are watching tonight. Don Fernandez.
Hey, tell you what, taught me everything I knew about basketball.
Come on, really?
Yeah. I even got him a technical one night in Pearl River.
Wow, and Michael Grady.
Absolutely.
Michael Grady said, tell Wade Kaiser that he once told me special teams are for special people.
And they are, correct? Absolutely. It takes special people to line up and play special teams, correct? And that's the reason why you look for special people to put onto those teams.
And y'all were all here with Frank Monica, right?
No.
Set me straight on that.
It was before Frank. Frank, when I left St. Charles, Frank took the job here at St. Charles Catholic.
I thought y'all had a year together.
Back to Don Fernandez real quick. I got him a technical foul one night on a play in Pearl River.
They are going to go for 2.
That I was yelling at an official on, and
Don, we're coming back to that in just a moment. They are going to go for 2. The points are on the board. It's 12-7 Shaw. And I'm like you. I would have settled for the extra pump. They want to make up for the muffed one. Wilson, his pass is knocked down. What a defensive play right there by Rashawn Hilaire.
Yeah, nobody touches Rashawn Hilaire coming off Shaw's right-hand side off the edge, right? You got to account for the protection for the last guy. Here he comes. He just does a great job getting up in the air. Nobody touches him. He's trying to be blocked right there by Caleb Williams, who doesn't do a very good job, and you get a knockdown right there. He can add that to his statistical column.
Well, I got to tell you what. Had he thrown the ball, he was targeting Jacob Washington, and Washington was very well covered, and he was right on the edge of the sideline. So I don't know, even if he gets the ball there, if Washington's able to make that catch.
He's trying to throw a 50-50 ball to Washington. You got to think that your guy that's 6'4" is going to get up there over a defender that's a rather shorter out there on the edge. 50-50 ball should have been his, but if you can't get it off, it's not a 50-50 ball. So quickly back to my story, right?
Yes.
I get a technical foul on me. I'm just the lowly assistant. Don Fernandez is the one that it goes on the bench, right? And he turns around and he says, "Hey, I'm the head coach here." Hey, what a head coach he was. Great basketball guy, great family. The Fernandezes are outstanding people.
Dropped by Dax Prejean, but picked up, and he makes a nice return back to the 36-yard line. But however, only 126 for St. Charles Catholic to work with here in this first half.
I think 126 and 2 timeouts, plenty enough time to be able to try to get at least into some sort of field goal range for Tyler Miliotto, whose longest this year is 32 yards against Newman.
So 12-7. A botched extra point attempt kick, and then a 2-point conversion that is failed because it was just knocked down by Hilaire. The pass was knocked down by Hilaire. So here comes St. Charles Catholic. This drive starting at their own 37. And Landry LeBlanc, he's got on the strike for 10 yards on the first down, and very well grabbed by Fourier-Fabre.
Fourier-Fabre does a nice job on his curl route. He pushes the technique and gets separation. If he gets separation, he presents a target to LeBlanc. LeBlanc puts it on the money.
At the 42, after the 10-yard gain for St. Charles Catholic. This time they keep it on the ground. They go right up the middle, and that's another 10-yard gain. But let's see, hold it. Do we have a flag down? Yeah, we do, too.
Probably a holding penalty. Oh, there it is.
Boy, nothing. And Coach Wayne Stein really upset on the sideline.
See if we can take a look at it right there. A little draw, right? And there's the hole that couldn't get a number. Is right there, right at about the 50-yard line. It looked like a 2-point takedown on a wrestling mat. That's going to get called every time. Boy, that puts a wet blanket on a nice run.
That was your left tackle, Matthew Lang. And that offensive line with Matthew Lang anchoring that left side at tackle, they have been just phenomenal, especially on the first drive of the game. They've had very few mistakes, very few penalties in this game. That's going to back it up to the 35-yard line, but you're working against the clock. 1:04. Landry LeBlanc coming around the right side, throwing complete, and that's a big completion because getting out of bounds is Jackson Doster.
Oh, nice route. Looks like he's running curl rail. He breaks the rail off, curl rail out. Look at the out right here. Nice rail. Break it. Boom. Nicely done by Doster. Gets separation, gets room, gets his feet down on the boundary. Nice job by LeBlanc delivering.
You've still got to go 51 yards, and you've only got 52 seconds to do it, but you're going to have to work the sideline because you're going to need some help stopping that clock. So important right here. Two teams that have the potential. Second down. 7. They're going to reset that clock, putting an extra 10 seconds on it to 55 seconds. It was down to 45, I believe. Oh, they put 50. There it is. Yeah, they put the right. Oh, that one tipped up in the air. It was up for hot potato grabs. Nobody able to pull it down.
Tristan Evans, he's had a nice night this first half so far. Boy, he's everywhere, right? He gets right in the middle of the screen. Shaw sitting back in a real soft, too deep zone. They try to go underneath with a little tunnel screen. Tristan Evans right there in the middle of it to destroy it. That almost got picked off.
Look, St. Charles Catholic working on back-to-back punts on their last two drives. They need this momentum. They need some type of a score going into the halftime. Here's third down. They've got to move it. They need 7 out of this. A lot of time for Landry LeBlanc. He's going to go long down the left side, and that one's picked off. Intercepted by Jarius Monroe.
Yeah, just off target, right? Overthrows the intended receiver. Take a look at it right here. He's trying to stretch everything vertically on a double move. You saw the hitch and go. Nicely read by the defender right there and gets over the top to make a nice play.
Well, it's actually Rontre Carter. That's one of those double number things. So that's Rontre Carter. And Rontre Carter, along with Jaquan Carter, their cousins, met 2 of the top defenders.
Well, that's what a free safety is supposed to do. He's supposed to get across the top and be able to create that umbrella type of effect. And he did a nice job that time from a one-high coverage, and he gets the pick.
So intercepted by Rontre Carter, and I think Shaw now just wants to take this lead into the halftime locker room. Nothing fancy on first down as the Eagles just hand it off.
Yeah, that was 26 Rashawn Hilaire again making a nice play off the edge from his cornerback position.
And the Eagles are just going to let that clock tick down. And they're happy to take right now a 12-7 lead into the halftime locker room. Remember, St. Charles Catholic has won this game the last 2 seasons. It's kind of stuck in Shaw's craw a little bit, and the Eagles had this one sort of circled from the beginning of the season. They knew they had to win some big ones to get here, but they knew they had to win this one to keep the momentum going. We are at halftime, and the Shaw Eagles lead the St. Charles Catholic Comets by the score of 12-7. Ken Berthelot, Wade Kaiser, along with Lenny Van Gilder, and on camera, Holly Mason. And we are at halftime as Shaw is leading this one by the score of 12-7. The final week of the Louisiana high school football season begins tonight. You're seeing one of the big games right here. Here's a breakdown of where things stand in the 8 divisions with Crescent City Sports' Lenny Van Gilder.
Guys, thanks. And we are upon week 10 of the regular season. We are 3 days away from Bracket Sunday in the LHSA, where we will see the 8 brackets for the road to the Dome in the LHSA Prep Classic, December 12th through 14th, coming to New Orleans and the Caesars Superdome. Let's look at where things stand right now as we start on the non-select side with Division 1, and Neville and Airline, 2 North Louisiana teams sitting 1 and 2 at the moment. The top 4 on the non-select side in each of the 4 divisions will get first-round buys. The highest-ranked team from the metro area, Mandeville, at number 6. They are, of course, trying to bounce back from not only a loss last week at the Gun to St. Paul's, but also the season-ending injury to superstar running back, defensive back, Nate Shepard. In the second group there, you see Destrehan off that huge win over Hanville last week at number 10. Covington is at 13. They've got a big game on Friday night against St. Paul's. And Hanville at 16, playing tonight against Lakeshore, possibly needing a win to hold on to a first-round home game. As we move on to Division 2, Franklinton and Lutcher, 2 teams from Southeast Louisiana sitting atop the power rankings. Franklinton at 1 and Lutcher at 2. They are both in position to earn first-round buys. Lakeshore is sitting at number 8. They are looking to position themselves to possibly be at home through the first 2 rounds. Bell Chase at 11 has lost 2 in a row. They are looking to bounce back on Friday night against Kenner Discovery. Pearl River is the first team you don't see on there. They are sitting at 17, perhaps with a win on Friday. They could sneak back into the top 16 and host a first-round game. In Division 3, St. James has been right near the top all season long. They go into Week 10 at number 2. And again, the top 4 will get first-round buys. They are the only team from Southeast Louisiana sitting in the top 16 as you see it right now. And as you move on to Division 4, you look at Haynesville, a team we've seen so many times sitting as a contender for state championships. But how about South Plaquemine sitting at number 2? They have a big one this weekend against Newman for the district championship, and they are looking to hold on to a top 4 seed and that first round bye. Big bounce back year for West St. John as they are sitting at number 11 and in good position to be at home in the first round next week. As we switch the conversation over to the select side, and number 1 has been for much of the year Edna Carr at 8-0, and they have been terrific all season long. A big one going on as we speak for the Catholic League title against Archbishop Rummel. We'll have more updates on that one later on. Alexandria at number 2, they are on the select side. They've got a huge game going on tomorrow night against Neville. That is 2 9-0 teams facing off with seeding and district championships all at stake in that one. The rest of the top 8 you see there in the left column. St. Paul's sitting in the 8th spot. As you look to the right side of the screen, those are teams that could all host in the first round next week. On the select side, the top 8 teams get first-round buys. It is a 24-team bracket. You see a lot of New Orleans flavor in that right-hand column with St. Augustine, Brother Martin, Jesuit, McDonough 35, East Jefferson, Hammond, John Curtis, all between 10 and 16. The results this weekend could have a lot to do with whether they stay there, maybe move up to the top 8, depending on the results in front of them, or maybe slide out of the top 16 and out of a first-round home game. As you move on to Division II, of course, we've been talking a lot about this one here this evening and the implications as you see Shaw at number 1. What a great story Haynes Academy has been, undefeated at number 2. Vanderbilt Catholic and E.D. White playing tonight down in the Bayou. They are 3-4 right now. Likely the winner slides ahead of the other. And, of course, St. Charles sitting at number 9 could move into the top 8 with a win here this evening, and that would be a first-round bye for them. The last home game, or the last home position at this point, number 16, belongs to Kenner Discovery. They may need a win over Bell Chase tomorrow night to hang on to that home position. As you move on to Division III, you see undefeated Newman at number 2, just behind Dunham. There's a pretty decent spread there in terms of power rankings, though. Can Newman catch Dunham with a win over South Plaquemines this weekend? Perhaps, but we'll have to see how that all plays out. As you look over to the right-hand column, you see a lot of familiar names in there. Local teams like Amite and Pope John Paul II. And then you've got a team like Lafayette Christian, who's a similar story perhaps to St. Charles Catholic, and somebody who's had a rough road this year but is looking to bounce back down the stretch. They are sitting at number 12 and poised to host a first-round game next week. De La Salle currently 17th is the first team out of the home position, and perhaps with a win this weekend could move back in to the top 16. And in Division 4, you see Vermilion Catholic, perhaps the best team in that division. They have been outstanding all year long, sitting at 9-0. Catholic Point Coupee is also 9-0 at number 2. You look at Riverside at number 5, poised to get a first-round bye. St. Martin's, perhaps, could creep back into the top 8. They are in 10th, but they are just 0.02 of a point out of the 8th spot. So we've got to see how things play out this weekend, if they could perhaps move themselves back into a first-round bye, or at worst, stay where they are and be able to host a first-round game next week. That's a look at the power rankings with 1 week to go. Again, the brackets are released Sunday by the LHSAA. Guys, back to you up in the press box.
Great job, Lenny Van Gilder, Ken Berthelot, along with Wade Kaiser. Lenny Van Gilder producing tonight, also giving us that great halftime report. Holly Mason on deck, on the top deck with the camera, bringing you these great pictures you're seeing tonight. And Wade, you look at what Lenny just talked about, so much at stake for so many teams, including these two. Let's start with these two right here with St. Charles Catholic and Archbishop Shaw, because we looked at the power rankings and we saw St. Charles Catholic at 9. If they lose tonight, they probably, there you go, they probably won't receive that first-round bye.
Well, a lot of things can happen here, and a lot of things have happened in the past couple of weeks, especially everybody's looking at that and seeing that University High is not in that number, right? They were at the number 2 select spot, but they've had a little hiccup, and the LHSAA has had to make some rulings that have knocked them all the way out of that top 16, all the way down, I think, somewhere into the 20s area. So, you know, by that happening, it causes earthquakes up and down not only Division II, but also up in Division I with like teams like Archbishop Rummel that had University on their schedule back in week 1 or 2. University High has dropped all the way down to 27 in the Division II select rankings. So yes, there has been a lot of jockeying, a lot of things are going on, and after tonight, you got to remember there's close to 60 teams around the state that are playing that are going to move in and up and down those power rankings, not only in select but non-select.
Yeah, and you hate to see anybody move up or down because of a forfeit.
Well,
but it happens. I mean,
it's been going
happens.
on, right?
Exactly.
It's been going on forever, and and not elaborating or anything that has happened, involving University High. LHSAA came in, made their decision, and I'm sure there's appeals going on. But however, right now, what takes place is by Sunday, all of this will be written in stone, because that's when you're going to have to look at your football calendar, and your playoff brackets will be announced on Sunday. You see the first round's November 15th, seconds on the 22nd. If you're practicing during Thanksgiving week, you're getting ready to play Friday night quarterfinals on the 29th, semis, and then the 12th through the 14th Prep Classic. Little bit different format for the Prep Classic this year. You're going to have 3 games on Thursday, 3 games on Friday, 2 games on Saturday. You can thank the NFL for that, because they will be playing Sunday in there. LHSAA has to be out in time for the NFL to come in there and get the place ready to roll for the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, what can happen is crazy, but you've got to just take care of first things first. Now, let's say St. Charles Catholic would come back and win this game. You think that would be enough to get them into that first round bye category? Because normally, if you get a first round bye, you're also going to host that next playoff game, correct?
Usually
most of the time,
right? Usually, what happens in a win like this for St. Charles, it's not going to earthquake all over, moving up and down 5 or 6 spots, or 4 spots, or 3 spots, maybe 1. You got to remember what happens with all the other games that are in front of them, right? Involving those teams. Weirder things have happened, correct? So I can't say that it can't. But what has to happen right now is St. Charles Catholic is playing for a district championship. That's the first thing they want. That's what is going on right in front of them. They got to take care of the here and now, and everything else will take care of itself. And they know they'll be playing somewhere next week in the first round of the playoffs, or if not, they'll have a bye, and they'll be playing at week 2. So what's on deck is what's in front of them with Shaw. Shaw's looking at the same thing. They're not worried.
Shaw,
right.
They're number 1 in the power rankings.
But I guarantee right now they're not thinking about that.
Right.
They're thinking about, we've got a half in order to win a District 9-4 championship, and we have not won in this stadium. Right? That's what is being said right now between those guys. He's not even worried, talking about Hank Tierney. He's not worried about that number 1 seed. Now, he wins tonight, he'll be riding home on the bus thinking about it. I guarantee that. Yeah. He doesn't win tonight, he'll be riding home on the bus thinking, where am I going to fall? And they'll be standing there doing mathematical figures all night long, trying to figure out what ifs.
And it's nice to see these teams, St. Charles Catholic playing up in 4A, playing in the same district. It's a small district. There's only 4 teams. You play 3 district games, so you get a chance to load your schedule with good teams to get ready for the playoffs. But to have these teams in the same district, there's always been a good rivalry between them. This is special.
Well, you got to realize St. Charles is a co-ed school, right? So when you make decisions as an athletic director and an administrator about where to play, whether you stay in your classification or you play up in your classification, you've got to think about all of your sports combined. You've got to think about travel. You've got to think about the girls' basketball team playing on a Tuesday night, how far away on a school day next day, right? Your boys' teams, school days the next day. You've got to think about your baseball teams, your softball teams that play midweek contests, right? So it just isn't football. And this is coming from my years as an athletic director. When you think about where to play in a classification and what to do, you've got to think about what is best for the overall program and your school. Hey, believe it or not, also your fans. You got to think about your traveling public. Can they get to where you want them to go? Are they going to travel with you to these places? A lot goes into that thought. Wayne Stein, when he was questioned about that, when he and St. Charles Catholic decided to play up into 4A, said it was the best decision not only for the football program, but for his school and the whole athletic program involved and the Comet community.
Yeah. Something very, very, very special. And it's always been very special here. Frank Monica, this field named after him. You've been close to him for many, many years. What has he meant to high school football and to St. Charles Catholic?
Well, when I left St. Charles Catholic, Frank came in and became the head football coach here, and he started that long dynasty, over 20 years of being the head coach here, and of course, in that time with the number of wins that he had here,
284 total, right. Not just here, 284
but
over
you got to remember,
in 51 years.
Right, I was on his staff at Jesuit back in the 80s.
Right,
he was at Riverside. He was at Lutcher, and so you add in all those wins. I mean, he's going to go down in history as one of the greatest high school football coaches ever to walk on the gridiron. Right, he taught me so much as an assistant. He taught me so much as a head coach when he would give me advice and things of that nature when he was coaching at Tulane. So yes, I mean he is one of the very best in the business. Now that he's retired, you can still pick his brain and he can still give you great advice.
Boy, it's been a great year for him, too. Induction into the All-State Sugar Bowl, Greater New Orleans Sports Hall of Fame, into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame in Natchitoches, and just gave everybody who knows him a chance to hear a whole lot more of his Monica-isms. And if you haven't listened to a Frank Monica-ism, well, you're missing something special in life.
Well, Wayne Stein played for me here at St. Charles Catholic. So did Frank's two sons, Nick and Ty, who I had the great pleasure to coach too. So, it's kind of, everything's kind of been intertwined over the past 20, 24, 25 years or so from that standpoint. So, yes.
And here's one for you.
Right.
Frank, by the way, I want you to think about your favorite Monica-ism before we start the second half, but Frank graduated from Nicholls State.
Yes, he
did.
did.
You know that he excelled in baseball, college baseball.
He told me, right, he told me one day, he said that baseball was his golf. Right? I mean, guys get away, they go play golf. He got away, and I remember when he was playing over here at St. Charles back when I was coaching here, he was playing in a weekend summer league for people over 45 years old, right? They had all these guys out there fielding ground balls and pitching and doing all the things that go on in a normal baseball game. He said, this is my golf. This was his relaxation. Yes, he's an outstanding baseball player in college as well as high school. Not to mention a great baseball coach.
Well, he went to the small college championship game with Nicholls. They didn't win it, but they got that far, and that's how good Frank was, and that's how good that entire Nicholls team was long ago. So, kicking it off, Tyler Miliotto to start the second half. Shaw leading it 12-7. And since they had won the toss and deferred, the Shaw Eagles have the ball to start the second half. How important is this drive to go down and put points on the board if you're Shaw, to sort of take the sting out of St. Charles Catholic a little bit?
Exactly. Take the sting out of them. Let them know that, you want to be able, the first 3 minutes of the second half are part of the most important part of a football game. They got to go down there and take control and let them know that we control the tempo the rest of the night in this football game. That's what Shaw is looking to do on this first drive.
Now they'll start from their own 29-yard line, and again, it's that great backfield of Mason Wilson, number 1, your quarterback, and he'll normally dump it off to many people. Caleb Williams gets the call this time. Williams has it and is across the 35 up to the 36-yard line, and that's a gain of 5. A little bit more.
RPO. You can see it right here. You can see him backing out. The pressure's put on, so that tells the quarterback to pull the ball and get the ball out on the flank because they have the numbers. And they have a nice pickup.
Here's the play action. He'll throw it out the right side, and that's going nowhere. Shaw was all over that one, and they'll stop that one cold. Matter of fact, it's an incomplete pass, and it's 3rd down and 3.
Here's a good look at the RPO again. Look at the edge being set by the St. Charles Catholic defender. That looked like out there that might have been Rashawn Hilaire again.
Rashawn Hilaire. He has been such a leader, 4th leading tackler on this St. Charles Catholic team. So here's your big 3rd down and 3. You've got Jasper Parker on the side. He'll get the call, tripped up in the backfield. He's going nowhere, pushes forward for maybe 1, and the center of that line really closed in quickly.
You don't see that quite often, right? St. Charles does a nice job slanting and pinching. You can see coming down off of the edge, these blue jerseys coming off both edges down there to be able to reduce the gap at the line of scrimmage, and that was a great play by that St. Charles defense shutting down Jasper Parker.
Wow, a 1-2-3 punt when Shaw needed to go down the field and make a statement. 4th down and 3. And Henry Cardenas, the punter, is on the field, and he'll send this one way back. Dax Prejean dropped it at the 21, jumps on that ball. Pile up. Did Prejean save it for St. Charles Catholic?
Second one tonight for Prejean, muffing the punt.
Yeah, listen, didn't have any rain. It's been a beautiful field for play, 77 degrees at kickoff.
Yeah, that's kind of out of the ordinary for him. You don't see that out of Prejean too often. He has a drift to his left like a outfielder. And Prejean is a pretty darn good baseball player too. He has a drift to his left. Ball hung up high. No problem with sight, vision, wetness, anything like that. He just dropped it. What he might have done was peek at the white jerseys to see if he could catch that thing and take off.
Oh, yeah, if you take your eye off the ball, bad things happen. Landry LeBlanc, quarterback, will hand it off. And St. Charles Catholic just goes straight ahead.
You talk about how
Edwards on the
right.
carry.
You talk about how important that was for St. Charles to get a 3 and out. That was a statement-making defensive stand right there for St. Charles Catholic. So, they talked coming out of the locker room that we need a 3 and out right now and convert points. Those are the things I'm sure Wayne Stein and his staff talked to the Comets about.
Second down, a little bit less than 8. From the 24-yard line of St. Charles Catholic. Fake to Edwards. No, the give to Edwards. Edwards will try the middle. This time Shaw shuts it down. They close it up very, very quickly.
Yeah, that was nicely done. That was 99. Michael Banks making that play.
Well, now it's the Comets who face a third down in a must situation to avoid a 1-2-3 punt when they need to get some momentum going, trailing by only 5. 2 touchdowns for Shaw, but 2 missed extra points. They muffed the kick on after the first one, and the 2-point, the pass was knocked down by Hilaire. Say Hilaire. They're going around the left side. It's going to be very close. They might have gotten it. Then they did. Well, so when you don't know what to do, give it to Noah Tucker. Let him run that ball. Put him in there, and he's got the hands to do it and the feet from the Wildcat.
Yeah, again, faking the jet sweep. He takes it out the back door and does a nice job knowing where the sticks are. You got to know where the sticks are. Make sure you get to the sticks, and you make sure you fall forward. They move the chains.
Didn't need much. Got 7. First and 10 keeps the drive alive for St. Charles Catholic. They'll hand off, keep it on the ground. Edwards with a big hole on a cutback up the middle. He's to the 40-yard line. A nice gain of 8.
That's been there ever since the first half. But he's running the inside zone, and he just cuts it back against the grain. And he finds running room because it's not being closed down. Excuse me, that wasn't inside zone, that was counter, right? So it's not being closed down backside by the white jersey, so he has nice running room getting that nice little cutback off those counter blocks inside.
From the 40 straight ahead, they found the place they can run. And look at Edwards break tackles as he's past the 45-yard line, and he moves the chains for a first down.
You like old-time football, then you're going to like Power O, right? You're going to get the kick out, and you're going to get the sail. There's a kick out. Great block by the fullback right there. That fullback right there, I believe, was Gideon Merrick's doing a nice job getting the kick-out block on the defensive end or the outside linebacker from Shaw. Love to see fullbacks block at the point of attack.
At the 47-yard line. First down for St. Charles Catholic. Almost picked off. My goodness, coming in hard that time was Christian Langford.
Yeah, he almost had that thing.
That would have been a pick 6 had he grabbed it.
Yeah, I wasn't going to catch him. Watch this again, folks, right here. He jumps the route right there. Woo! You can't throw the ball underneath the hitch route, right? Meaning you can't throw it to his inside. There's only one place you can miss. Aim small, miss small. It's got to be outside. That was almost picked. Christian Langford would have been a touchdown in his statistics.
One of these long clock-eating drives, but the Comets have found ways to move the chains and keep it going. They like running up the middle. They've had some holes. They're getting through at least 3-4 yards a pop going up the middle as they do right there. They just give it to one of the big men, let them go. In this case,
Gains 3 up the middle. Ball in midfield, 3rd down, 7 to go Comets.
Well, they're eating the clock, Ken. That's what they're doing here. This thing is just getting chewed up by the Comets, and that's what they wanted to do. That was part of their game plan, control the line of scrimmage, eat the clock up, keep the great Shaw offense off the field.
Here's the other thing. They know they just need a touchdown to take the lead here. And this time, Shaw is ready, and they'll lose 2 on that one. Could have handed it off. And keep.
Yeah, well, Caden Valentine stayed home that time. Take a look. Caden Valentine right here takes it on, does a nice job defeating the block and pulling down Noah Tucker, who was in the Wildcat again.
Well, that brought up 4th down, and quickly they tried to go fast and catch Shaw maybe not in position. Shaw did have somebody back to receive it. They let that ball go. It gets a great St. Charles Catholic roll down to the 8-yard line. Down to the, let's see where they're going to mark it here. Yeah. They're going to mark it down to the 8-yard line, so that's a pretty doggone good punt. There it is.
Tell you what, how important are special teams in tight football games? Watch how they flip the field right here. Shaw has trouble getting their punt return team on. Their returners misjudge the distance. It's kicked over their heads, and then you get the Comets coming down there and making sure they're covering that ball. Field is flipped. How important is the kicking game? Special people play on special teams.
A 42-yard punt with a great roll at the end that helped get the extra yardage. It backs Shaw up. Let's see if the Eagles can do something with it. Wilson in trouble. He will throw long, and he just threw it away. He just got rid of that football, and that's a good thing.
Great pressure that time by the Comets put on. I think they brought a blitz right off the edge. Let's take a look at it again. No, they didn't. It was, no. There it is. It's delayed blitz. That's what I thought I saw from number 44, Creed Merrick's kind of delay blitz, puts the pressure on Wilson. Wilson had no place to go with the ball because coverage was all there. He throws it away.
Probably a pretty good move by Wilson to get rid of that ball. I mean, there was a receiver within about 10 or 15 yards, but he just got rid of it. He knows where he's at on the football field. Hand off, and this one, they tried the middle, and, nothing going right there for Parker. Jasper Parker tried it, nowhere to go.
You're getting a lot of movement out of that St. Charles defensive line. You're getting little slants. That time they slanted to the field, the wide side of the field, to be able to penetrate, and they stopped Parker before he could get going. They hit him in the backfield. He still falls forward for a small gain.
Now you've got 3rd down and 8 after the short gain. Wilson on the run, throws, intercepted, picked off. Matt Lemon coming back. An interception by St. Charles Catholic deep in Archbishop Shaw territory, and wow, what a difference that makes. Matthew Lemon with the pick. That is his 2nd interception of the year.
Mistakes and turnovers are going to cause the difference in this football game. Matt Lemon comes away with his 2nd of the season right there, and he is Johnny on the spot to be able to put St. Charles in great field position, looking to take the lead.
All at the 26-yard line. And now let's see, St. Charles Catholic, if they can move this on 1st down. Well, the handoff, and not a lot going right there for Jackson Doster.
Yeah, they've ran that jet sweep fake a couple of times, and Noah Tucker in the Wildcat has pulled it. That time they give it to Doster to try to keep the defense honest, right? And great job with the secondary coming up in support to make the tackle on Doster. I mean, sometimes you got to hand the ball off to keep people honest, right? Because otherwise they're going to know Noah Tucker's going to run that thing out the back door.
Second down. Hand off to Edwards. He'll go straight ahead. Gets some stood up. Trying to bounce off the tackle, but goes down. Got it to the 21-yard line.
Well, this puts them a third down and real manageable right here. You got to think sticks. You got to think, what have I got to do in order to pick up about 5 yards here to move these sticks, right?
What would you do right here offensively if you were coaching?
I'm going to look at my play sheet. I will have circled what is my best 5 to 6 yard play that I need to play, and I got to think players and how am I going to get into his hands with that particular call.
I'm going to probably give it to Edwards and let him run. No, they're going to play action to Edwards, and they're going to throw long into the end zone. Overthrows the intended receiver, Noah Tucker, in the end zone, who was well covered by Shaquan Johnson, I believe.
Yeah, I think they're going to kick the 3 here. You ask what I would have done? When I was back at St. Charles, I'd have put it in Wayne Stein's hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thinking players.
Look, Tyler Miliotto is a great field goal kicker. He's got great range. He's hit 2 long range, missed a couple from long range this year. And this will be a 38-yarder, and it is up, and it is no good. Missed it left.
Wow, the intensity continues. The drama continues, right, as we've got 3:35 left in the third.
Wow. No kidding. You know, that take a look at it again. There's a 38-yarder, and wow, it just missed that upright. We had to... From our angle, looking through a glass with a lot of shine on it, we had to wait for the official to tell us that when it was that close.
And we're old. We can't see either. Right, but yeah.
I didn't want to say that, but
I'll say it. But yeah, it was real close, absolutely. He had just missed it.
So Shaw gets out and actually avoids a real problem there. And with 3:20 and the clock ticking here in the third, the Shaw Eagles are holding on to that 5-point lead. How big would that field goal have been? Because it would have then given them the opportunity to take the lead with a field goal in a game that has tightened up since the opening drive for both teams when the first touchdowns were scored. Shaw goes up the middle on second down, won't get the first down as St. Charles Catholic clogs that hole real quickly.
I'm telling you who's having a nice night tonight is Creed Merricks. He was first to make that hit right there, number 44, and then cleaning him up was Brooks Monica.
Yeah, Brooks Monica came in to help it, and of course that is Ty Monica's son, Frank Monica's grandson.
Well, Frank's got a lot of grandkids. They're all over the place, right? But Brooks Monica is a fine linebacker.
3rd and short. 3rd and 2. The snap, a keeper by Wilson, the quarterback, and he has the first down for the Shaw Eagles.
Big-time players make big-time players make big-time plays, right? That's a big-time play right there because you got to look back at it. You know, St. Charles just came off of a 3-and-out. They couldn't kick the field goal. Shaw has to do something to get some momentum back, and the first thing you got to do to get the momentum back is move the sticks. Great play right there by Wilson.
1st and 10 from the 35-yard line of the Shaw Eagles. Wilson wants to throw long, unloads one, and he hits his man Jacob Washington again in double coverage. Washington, his hands up, pulls it down. What a big play for the Shaw Eagles.
St. Charles in a too-high secondary. Dax Prejean was the safety to that side. He does not get across the top of the vertical. Nice job by the corner in a trail position. You see number 1 right there, a little late getting across the top. He needs to get there to knock that thing away, but credit Washington going up and getting that football.
32-yard gain on that pass to Jacob Washington, and now you know why he's a Michigan commit and how important he is. Every target he has caught in this ball game. 1st and 10 now on the St. Charles Catholic side of the 50, and deep in their territory at about the 30-yard line. I want to remind you that tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Game On Social Hub at 2421 Veterans in Kenner, with a full-service restaurant, arcade games, bowling, axe throwing, and laser tag. Come on, as Game On has it all. This Monday, join Ken Trahan and a special guest, Archie Manning, for live football conversation on 106.1 The Ticket. Wilson, what is he going to do? He's going to dance around and unload it long in the end zone, and is it almost caught? Flag goes down. That ball intended for Ivan Smith, his first target of the ball game. He fell down in the end zone. Was he interfered with, or was it holding back? Pass interference.
They're going to give interference. Let's take a look at it down there in the end zone. Another too-high coverage, 4 verticals right there. Nicely done, covered. Got the defender backed around, who came up, and he just kind of held on to him as the ball was approaching to create a little bit of hesitation. Ball gets tipped up right into his hands. You thought he came away with an interception, but instead he comes away with a PI, a pass interference penalty.
Yeah, and wipes out the interception. Gives you the ball at the 16-yard line. This drive stays alive for Shaw. What a big drive it's been. Wilson on the keeper, and Wilson near the 10-yard line.
Yeah. Brooks Monica makes the tackle, right? Brooks Monica is coming off of a game a couple of weeks ago where he had 17.5 tackles against Belle Chase, right? He was the Crescent City Sports G&O Quarterback Club Player of the Week that particular week for that performance against Belle Chase. Brooks Monica is a very good linebacker.
Well, Shaw's going to let this third quarter clock run down. 3, 2, 1. We have played 3 here at Frank Monica Field, Thomas Dupuis Stadium in La Place, Louisiana. Big 9-4A prep game, and the Archbishop Shaw Eagles, number 1 in the power ratings, having a time of it, but they do lead St. Charles Catholic by 5, 12-7. We're back with the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter begins. Ken Berthelot, Wade Kaiser. You're watching high school football on CrescentCitySports.com. Our producer is Lenny Van Gilger. Holly Mason on camera. Second down and about 6 for the Shaw Eagles. They are driving. Mason Wilson uncorked one long in the end zone. Was picked off, but definite pass interference. He'll hand off this time. Bouncing off a tackle and continuing to run toward the end zone. What a run if he gets in. We don't see the sign yet from the official, and it is a touchdown.
Wow, did you see the cut laterally to get vertically and then runs through 2 Comet tacklers in order to get into the end zone?
What a special play.
Take a look at this replay right here. There's a kick out. Watch this. Laterally, vertically, runs through the arms of 2 Comets right there. One of them was Monica to be able to get vertical and then into the end zone.
Well, 0 for 2 on point afters. This one kicked up and good, so Shaw makes an extra point and has a 19-7 lead. A very impressive drive by the Shaw Eagles, and this all came after the missed 38-yard field goal by St. Charles Catholic. Looks like they were going to pull within 2, and Shaw takes over at their own 31-yard line, and they drive down, get that score, and now they have a commanding lead, 19-7, over St. Charles Catholic here in the fourth quarter.
Ebb and flow of momentum, right? I mean, St. Charles has had its flow of momentum. Shaw has taken back that momentum now, and it produces a score. That last drive, though, it was spread out, right? Wilson had a lot to do with it. Mason Wilson, Caleb Williams touched that ball. Jasper Parker touched that ball. Jacob Washington touched that ball. It's been spread out all across their offensive talent.
And again, with an excellent kicker. Shaw sends it deep. Henry Cardenas. And St. Charles Catholic has some work to do with 11:51 to go in this one.
Yeah, they got to answer, Ken. They've got to answer right here, and it doesn't need to be a explosion answer, like real quick. What they've got to do is they've got to get a couple first downs, and they've got to come away with some points. Some sort of answer to be able to get their mojo back into place.
Couple of scores to catch you up on as we go along. Out of the Wildcat, they're going to go with Noah Tucker, and Shaw was waiting for it. You kind of know Noah Tucker's going to usually run it. He can throw it out of that Wildcat too, but that time, no surprise, Shaw stuffed it.
Tristan Evans has quietly had a nice night, and this wasn't too quiet. Look how he plays the quarterback right here on the option. Whack! Puts him on the ground and says, hello.
Lost 4 on that one, so now it's second down and 14. It's going to be a big play for St. Charles Catholic coming up.
Yeah, off schedule, can't have these second and longs.
It's got to be a big gain to make it at least third and short, if not more. They're going to run it. Go up the middle on the left side, and Shaw closes that hole very quickly. Boy, nowhere going. And a couple of scores to catch you up on. At half, Carr extended the lead over Rummel, 40-21. At the half, Catholic 44, Zachary 27.
Carr can score so fast and in a flurry, right?
Yes.
They can. We've seen them a couple of times this year. They can score 20 points in a blink of an eye. 21 points in a blink of an eye.
At the 17, third down and 13. This is huge. Landry LeBlanc rolls to the right, turns, throws to the left. Got to make a play. Shaw's there to cover it. And the crowd's going to want a flag, and they're going to get it, saying that I believe that was Jaquan Johnson riding him out just a little too far and a little too long.
Yeah, Jaquan Johnson needed to back off the minute he crossed that line. He held on and continued running. That's why he drew the flag. Personal foul. It'll move the ball. Take a look at it. They're setting up a screen here. Snuffed out really nice by Jaquan Johnson, flying in from his linebacker position. Once he crosses that white line, the hog collar throwdown out that far out of bounds is going to get a flag anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, you can get kind of excited. I said Jaquan Johnson, it's Jaquan Carter, and man, that's the kind of play when you're in a game like this, you can't do defensively. I know sometimes your emotions take over. You want to make a statement, but you've got to keep your emotions in check.
You got to know where you are, and you've got to have some sort of understanding of field positioning and body positioning.
First down at the 30-yard line. And again, they're trying to run against that Shaw front, and it's very hard to do so. Fourier Fobbs on the last carry, quickly to the line. But Landry LeBlanc hesitates after getting that call from the sideline. Check there. They try the middle again, and Shaw has just And for the last drive or two, Shaw has really been tough on that, and they've just basically cut it.
They're doing a few things differently up front with their front four. Watch Gibson Lamune come off the edge right here. Nicely done. Hits him about a yard deep in the backfield, coming from his wide side of the field defensive end position to make the tackle.
Yeah, Gibson Lamine, Gordon Valentine, Ronnie Miller, and Michael Banks making up that front when they're putting 4 people up there like they do now. Right now, they move a linebacker up also. Makes it tough. 3rd down. Here's the talk. 3rd and 9, and they're not going to go anywhere. Tried to go wide, and it's going to be 4th down and 9 as they went wide with it. Fourier Fabs, I believe, out there. Didn't work. Or was it Gabe Kruger? That's Gabe Kugler.
Yeah, Rontre Carter does a nice job here, sitting where he's supposed to be, taking that flat route coming out of the backfield. It's going to force St. Charles into another punting situation.
Would they fake it here? No, too much time on the clock. 8:45, you've got to punt it away. Nice punt rush. And this time it takes a Shaw bounce, and quickly the Comets down it at the 45-yard line. Tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. Lamarck Pre-Owned has a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, makes and models. They have great deals. We have great deals. Must be a reason, says Ronnie Lamarck, and you better believe it. There's always a reason. Ronnie has bridged the gap back in the old days, and now it's just must be a reason, and there's a lot of truth to it.
And they got a good popcorn.
From the 45-yard line from Shaw, 1st and 10, you've got to see some St. Charles Catholic defense right here with 8.5 to go in the game, and a big lead for St. Charles, for Shaw over St. Charles Catholic, 19-7. 2 missed extra points for Shaw. They're going to go left, and it's just dropped.
Yeah, he just had a chance to catch the ball. It just hits him in his hands, and he drops it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so, where do you want the ball? In my hands. Got to catch the ball. A lot of room out there on those wide receivers. You see St. Charles playing a too high soft coverage.
2nd down and 10. Here's a run to the left and a cut in. Yeah, can he do it all? You better believe he can. Mason Wilson. Fun to watch him and Jasper Parker. Another look.
Yeah, there was I don't know what was going on in the backfield right there. It looked like the back went one way. The quarterback was trying to hand him the ball, and he didn't want the ball, or there was some sort of miscommunication. It was like, well, I better take off, and that he did, and it sets up a nice 3rd down, and it's manageable for the Eagles.
Yeah, third down at the 48-yard line of the Comets. Shaw needs 3. They hand it off to who else? Jasper Parker, and he gets it slanting off a tackle and moving the chains.
Look, I don't know what he has tonight, but I know he's got to be nearing 100. St. Charles has made it hard for him. I'm sure Wayne Stein said all week long, he's going to get his yardage. We got to make him pay every time he carries the ball, but he is a hard-nosed running back, always falling forward. He's got to be nearing the century mark right there. And right there, he has a nice pickup for a 1st down.
Yeah,
what do you got to do? You got to put the ball in his hands to run downhill when you need those hard yards.
Yeah, we were trying to keep the yardage, didn't have a statistician, and he was racking them up so much we lost track back in the first half. So Wilson on the run. Big hole. Look at Wilson. When he cuts in, he saw the daylight and went right to it and gets very close to a 1st down on 1st down.
Ken, tonight Wilson has been the X factor running the football for Shaw. He's been the guy that St. Charles can't account for. They can't account for him right there, or they're getting blocked trying to account for, and he had a huge pickup right there to set up 2nd and very short. Look for Shaw to take a shot. I would take a shot right here. Why? Because I can turn around on 3rd down and give it to number 8.
Well, let's see. 2nd down, you're right. The way number 8's been running, he's so hard to stop. On 2nd and 1, do they take that shot? No, they're just going to go ahead and give it to number 8 and let him go ahead and pick up the 1st down and eat some clock, because that's what I think Hank Tierney wants to do on the other sideline. Eat some clock, and let's put this one in the win column. And not give the ball back to St. Charles Catholic with a lot of time on it. Of course, if they could put another score on the board, they would make it very, very difficult.
Jasper Parker can wear you out, right? I mean, you can hit him and hit him and hit him, and St. Charles has done an admirable job so far for, almost 3.5 quarters on him, but he is going to get his yardage. Like I said, Mason Wilson pulling that ball on some of those zone reads, he's been the X factor. Again.
Well, a great pull right there, and Wilson follows that. And when you see those guys pull, that was Adam Lamarck on the pull from the right side going all the way to the left side. He got there quickly, and, you just got some big beef. That's 6'2", 306 pounds helping on the pull. Number 74 going through.
Quarterback counter. Quarterback counter. I mean, he's like I said, the guy that St. Charles has had trouble stopping on any type of those quarterback runs.
Both of these teams have some great pulling guards and tackles on the offensive line. They do it very, very well. You just saw one great sample of it. Here's first down. They're going to keep it on the ground. Just go straight ahead with Jasper Parker. Parker drives inside the 10-yard line, and Shaw's doing what they want to do. Eat a lot of clock, put more points on the board, and make it almost impossible for St. Charles Catholic to be able to come back. St. Charles Catholic, when you look at their season and what they've accomplished to get to this point, they lost a lot of people, losing 17 of their starting 22 had to be replaced. Got off to an 0-3 start, 0-4 start. And as Wayne Stein said, hey, we're not used to that. Even in a reloading stage, we're not used to that here. But they also stepped up in class. They're playing in District 4A now, and here's the run to the left side by Shaw as they eat clock and let it go. But they come back after that, and he said a lot of young kids have to get experience fast, Wayne Stein said, and that's exactly what happened. They've been 3-1 in their last 4 games.
Well, look, he's got a great staff, and he's an outstanding football coach, and he has kept that team together all year long when, like he said, they don't do 0-4 much around here, right? So, at 0-4, he had some battles uphill, but he knew how to handle his kids, and his kids responded to his and his staff's coaching.
Here's the fake, and then Wilson will take it across the goal line into the end zone. Is he down, or did he get there? Yeah, he's in there. Touchdown.
That could be the spike in the back right there.
Yeah.
And like I said, Mason Wilson is the guy tonight that has been...
Oh, wait a minute. Flag on the play. Hold everything.
Well, depends on if it's dead ball or live ball. We're back to where we were in the second quarter.
Yeah, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Right. We don't know if it happened after the whistle or if it was during the play. It looks like it's going to be a dead ball. They're going to be lining up for the PAT. So it'll be marked off on the succeeding kickoff.
So Henry Cardenas to attempt the point after. And after missing the first one because there was a problem with the mechanics of it, they went for 2 the second time, and they've come back to convert off Cardenas' toe the extra points after these 2 touchdowns.
Let's see if we can see somewhere. Great play right there by Wilson on the keep, right? The quarterback counter. See if there's any extracurricular anywhere. I don't really see. Was something said? Who knows?
I don't know if it was something said or out there.
There it was. It looked like one of the Shaw players grabbed the towel of a St. Charles player and decided to try to throw it over there to home plate on the baseball field, but he missed his cutoff. However, you can't do that, so it's going to be 15 yards dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. They're going to back that thing up on the kickoff. Shaw has taken control of this thing. Look, like I said, we all know Jasper Parker, who's going to get his yards tonight. We know Jacob Washington, who has, I think, 4 or 5 catches tonight, was going to get his catches. The guy that's the X factor for the Eagles has been the quarterback, Mason Wilson, who has really kind of done what he has wanted to do, running the quarterback runs.
And this is the first time that Cardenas doesn't put one deep into the end zone or get one to the end zone. and St. Charles Catholic gets a return. Well, if St. Charles Catholic is to pull off one of these miracle comebacks, they're going to need some big plays real quick and a lot of onside kicks to go their way.
Well, they're going to have to score right here and come back and kick the onside, so they have no time to dally, right?
Yep. So do you go with Landry LeBlanc, or do you put Noah Tucker back there and see if he can do something out of the Wildcat? You're going to go with Landry LeBlanc.
Yes, you got to go with Landry LeBlanc because you got to have Noah Tucker running those vertical routes and trying to get behind the secondary and trying to make big plays from his receiver position.
LeBlanc, a sophomore quarterback, backpedaling, looking, and throws it low. Had a rush coming on.
You know, Landry LeBlanc is a sophomore, guys. You can see some sophomore mistakes he makes, like right there.
Yes.
You know, that he needed to, in the face of the rush on the screen, he needed to stand in there and deliver that ball and get it into the hands of Noah Tucker. As I just said, Noah Tucker is one of their big playmakers. You put the ball in his hands, he might be able to break that thing, but that sophomore is going to have to stand in there and take that rush on that screen. Huge learning curve. As Wayne Stein said, a lot of young kids playing.
A lot of young kids, you know.
So now, you know, they're learning, and they're going to be a much better, more experienced football team as they head into the playoffs and especially next year.
You've heard Dak Prejean, that name on punt returns and some other places in this game, and he's only a sophomore. Here's a push forward up the middle. That's run by Skylar Edwards. Edwards is a junior. He's coming back. So you'll have Landry LeBlanc as a sophomore. Skylar Edwards is coming back. He's a junior.
3 of 5 offensive linemen.
Yep. 3 of 5. Lowry, Taylor, and Vic Nair. All juniors coming back as seniors next year. You're only losing Matthew Lang and Bo Toka. And you remember, this is a team that last year, even though St. Charles Catholic didn't win the state championship, they lost in the game. They had won 2 before that. Yeah. So you've got seniors here who have 2 state championships and a state runner-up under their belt playing for St. Charles Catholic. And on the other side, Archbishop Shaw, man, that program has been rebuilt by Hank Tierney. There's a nice toss to Jackson Dostler, and he's very close to the first down. Clock working against St. Charles Catholic here, but you know, you want to finish this game strong. You want to score. You want to make that little run no matter what. They trail by a bunch, 26-7. But this is how you grow, and this is how you get ready for playoff-type situation and competition. Happening right here. You just move that ball forward. So first down for the Comets on a run by Skylar Edwards. Boy, what a workhorse he's been. Came into this game with 567 yards gained.
Yeah, he missed part of the year with some injuries, too. He was injured very early in the season, either in week 1 or in the Jamboree, and he had to battle back off of injuries to, you know, have nice numbers.
He did not play in the Dunham game we did earlier this year, St. Charles Catholic and Dunham. Oh, that's just a drop. So if you take a couple of games he missed early, he'd be closing in on 1,000 yards. And again, he's only a junior. He's one of those guys Wayne Stein has coming back.
Yeah, there's a great base. There's a great, you know, group of guys that have gotten a lot of experience this year that, you know, obviously it's going to take them into the playoffs. And then, wow, with another offseason, they'll be right back where they want to be, I think, in 2025.
Yeah, good to see some of the seniors getting a lot of balls thrown in their direction. Here's Landry LeBlanc. He's going to just tuck it, keep it, and they'll blow the whistle. Everybody's standing up, and again, that's just a little bit of excitement.
Well,
sometimes there by Jaquan Carter, but
the first thing that young sophomore better do is learn how to go down.
Well, yeah, that's
because he's going to get clocked if he tries to take on 5 or 6 guys of the opposite team the way he did. I understand grit and guts and determination and all that, but he needs to understand concussion.
So here's LeBlanc. Boy, the brush was coming, and he got leveled as he threw that ball and looked like he was hurting for a little bit on the ground, but popped back up quickly. And, I mean, he really got hit. The blitz was coming real hard.
Yeah, that was Ronnie Miller that got to him. Ronnie Miller lit him up. He blitzed from his linebacker position. Now credit the young sophomore LeBlanc for standing in there and taking it, and he took it right in the teeth.
Yeah.
Look,
Fourth down.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that he's learned as a sophomore that you can see he is growing into.
So here's fourth down. Can Landry LeBlanc keep the drive going? Nice throw, a diving attempt, and is that Gabe Kugler? Does he get it? Yeah, he did. No, incomplete. Didn't get it. Gabe Kugler.
Yeah, just a little bit low. He couldn't get down there to get his gloves underneath it in order to catch the ball. Again, look at LeBlanc stand in there after he just took it in the chops. He put it on the money right there. You know, that's a nice job by that young sophomore. Kugler just could not get that football, get his hands down underneath it. It hits the ground, and Shaw's going to take over. They should be able to kneel this thing out.
Hey, we talk about Hank Tierney. We've been talking about St. Charles Catholic and the great job that Wayne Stein has done the last few years and how he has matured this team quickly with young people here. But what about Hank Tierney and what he's done with this Shaw program? They brought him back a few years ago, and my goodness, he has taken this program 210 wins. This will be his 211th win at Shaw, 327th overall as a head coach.
Well, look, he's one of the great ones. All right, here's your Division II.
Shaw will stay number one. They're going to stay number one.
They will be there. And it's going to be interesting to see down the bayou right now. Vanderbilt Catholic and E.D. White are playing tonight. And St. Charles will likely drop down there somewhere around 10, 11, 12.
Probably no worse than 12.
Right, depending on what happens up in front of them and immediately behind them, right?
Yeah, and look.
Big ball game down on the bayou tonight with E.D. White and Vanderbilt. That's a huge rivalry. That's going to be interesting to see how that jostles things a little bit.
Remember, the top 8, as you saw that graphic, the top 8 get byes. But Hank Tierney, we talked about that. 21 years at Shaw, by the way, in 2 different stints.
Yeah. Well, look, you know, he's one of the great ones, and, you know, I've known him throughout my whole coaching career for 35 years, and now that I'm retired, he and I are still friends, and we still talking tonight. But, you know, one of the things he does is he brings that aura of expectation with him wherever he goes. He did it at Shaw for a long time, did it at Ponchatoula for a long time, did it at West Jeff. And again, he's doing it here at Shaw. He has a great staff, Mike Biamani and all those guys. Those guys do a great job coaching. They're going to be our District 9 4A champions here tonight.
Yeah, final score in this one. Shaw beats St. Charles Catholic 26-7. The Shaw Eagles up their record to 8-2. They finished the regular season 8-2, undefeated 3-0 in District 9-4A, while the Comets fall to 3-6, 2-1 in District 9-4A. And again, probably, as we said, the Comets, who were just out of the power rankings top 8, which gets the bye, probably will be playing next week, but they're ranked high enough that they should be playing right here at Frank Monica Field in Laplace. I don't think maybe not, but I'm pretty sure they're going to get a home game with that. You can count on St. Charles Catholic getting a home game next week, which is very important there. So, and then for Hank Tierney and company, they get a bye. They get a chance to just relax, get everybody in good shape and healthy, and then you wait to find out who you're going to play, and you flex your muscle, and you say, let's keep the dome in mind and move forward. He's got the playmakers in Mason Wilson, his quarterback, and Jasper Parker, his running back, to do it. Jacob Washington again tonight. They only targeted Jacob Washington 5 times, and he caught all 5, including that big catch for a first down that led to a Shaw score. So those are the kind of plays that are huge, and just an exciting time here. Your final comments on this game?
Look, it was a great football game here tonight. Great atmosphere. 2 really good football teams going at it. Shaw had just a little bit too much, right? And, St. Charles Catholic, hanging in there the best they can for a half, had their opportunities. Shaw just too strong in the end. 2 good football teams moving on in the playoffs. It's going to be fun. Week number 11 next week, first round of the playoffs. Looking forward to it.
I want to thank Holly Mason up on camera, Lenny Van Gilder, producer, for all the great replays and the like. And Wade, always fun doing a game with you. And boy, this one was a fun one to do. It's just fun to watch these kind of playmakers do what they do. Folks, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll have high school playoff football for you next week. Check our website, crescentcitysports.com, for the latest on football brackets and our coverage schedule. And don't forget, tomorrow night we've still got high school scoreboard, right, on Crescent City Sports. Ken Trahan, 106.1 also, crescentcitysports.com for a recap of all tonight's scores. You have it all right there, 106.1, the ticket, FM, and Ken Trahan will have his great scoreboard show tonight. So for Wade Kaiser and our entire Crescent City Sports production team, I'm Ken Berthelot saying good night from Laplace. Once again, your final score, Archbishop Shaw 26, St. Charles Catholic 7. Good night, everybody.
All right, good job.